What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Imperfect K back with another video. Now, before we start, I want to apologize. I don't know if you guys noticed, it's gotten a little bit better, but my voice is raspy. It's a little Barry Whitish, and that's from Six Flags. I went 2 days ago, and I'm still waiting on my voice to return to normal. I can't really hit a high note or scream if I wanted to right now. But yeah, based on the title, you can tell what the video is going to be about. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Yeah, let's do it. 300 subscribers. Let's go, y'all. We are 26 subscribers away. So hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the Imperfect family. If you are not new, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate the love. Just make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the like button. If you want to drop some suggestions on the next video, comment them down below, and let's get into the video. Okay, so he tried to kill me, right? I know, it's crazy. He tried to kill me. So I've talked about this person a couple times in other videos. Maybe if you're a detective, you'll put some pieces together. I don't know, because there's been so many incidents. But me and this person, first of all, I met them when I was 20 and they were 28, and we talked until I was 21 going on 22, and he just turned 30. So about a year and a half going into 2 years. From the get-go, I should have known. I shouldn't have been talking to this older man. And guys, just a side note, ladies, if you ever talk to a guy that's older than you, and I mean a huge age difference, don't do it. Don't. And I don't mean that from my own just experience. It's something I've analyzed quite a lot. Most men that are older that are comfortable talking to a girl that's younger than them, that's because it doesn't work out with their age group. They have their own mental things going on, and they like to have something to control. So they feel like if you're younger, they can manipulate you a lot easier. So we're gonna get back into the story, but that's a huge message for this entire story. So like I said, he was older. I met him. He came to my job when I worked at Office Max, and he came one day when I was getting off, and I was about to walk to the car, and I see him in the parking lot. So I said hi to him. We spoke, and we talked about hanging out, and a little bit later on that day, we hung out and made sauces. But we had been talking before that. I actually had met him through Instagram, but I knew about him because he's a promoter where I'm from. So I started talking to him when I was about 16, but we didn't do anything, of course, because I was underage. He didn't know. So it just was us talking, flirting with each other, getting to know each other and stuff. So 4 years later is when we started actually meeting each other in person. And so, yeah, we made sauces. And then after that, I was going with him to pick up equipment for parties. I was getting into parties for free. Just all I had to do when I'm walking up, I'm calling him and he's letting me in, or security already knows. So, yeah, we were talking, I want to say 6 months into it, started seeing some red flags, but he has a way of being so charismatic. He would say things and I would start talking to him again. And then a few months would go by and then something else would happen. So what I started doing within that year is, if I felt like things were getting too hectic, I would go a couple months without talking to him for my own good. I felt like I should just separate myself. Well, that didn't help him. He felt like he was being ignored. He felt like he was being disrespected. He would do anything to find me or harass me, calling my phone, texting me. Gonna drop some proof here. So he just would not let me get away. So this last time him and I hung out, he wanted me to come hang out with him at some loft downtown. And when I got there, I thought it was just gonna be him and I hanging out. So I wanted to invite some of his friends because I was friends with them also. So I called one of his friends and I was like, hey, we are hanging out downtown. You should come through. So I talked to him and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna call this guy Potato. That's the guy that I'm talking about that tried to kill me. So he was like, yeah, Potato already told me about it. And I'm on my way down there. I'm actually riding with him. So I was like, oh, okay. So when I get to the loft, Potato has to let me in, and we're getting on the elevator, and the first thing he says to me is, why did you invite him over here? I'm like, he's your friend. You know him and I are cool, so of course I'm going to invite him. Like, is there a problem? And he was like, I read y'all messages. What do you mean you want him there? And I was like, I want him to hang out. So he was like, you know, like looking at me like, yeah, okay, you know. So he always acts like this. He's pretty controlling, like most older guys. And at first it used to really turn me on. At a point it started to annoy me. So we get into this little game room that everybody's in. It has a pool table. It has what's that game with the little stick, foosball or whatever. It had just a bunch of games, air hockey and stuff. So we're all playing and everybody's drinking. And me having a history of knowing how he is when he gets intoxicated, it's not best for me to be drunk also. So I told him I wasn't drinking. So strike number 2, he didn't like that I didn't want to take a drink. And I was like, I'm good, I just don't want to drink. So about an hour goes by, everybody's getting a little tipsy. So we go upstairs to one of the rooms. I guess one of the guys there, they lived in that loft. So we go up there, and everybody's sitting on the couch, and one of the guys plays music, and Potato is just staring at me hard, like sitting in the corner of the room, and he's just staring at me. So I'm like, okay. And at this point, him and I are not together because I said I would go months without talking to him. So this is one of the things he did to just get me out the house, and I guess he was going to try to sweet talk me into getting back with him, or he would use the excuse of, let's work on us, let's be friends, let's try to fix this. So I guess it was one of those moods for him. So I'm ignoring him. I'm talking to one of the girls that's there. I'm talking to the guys because I know them. Like at this point, after a year and a half, y'all know me. Y'all always see me around him. So we're all talking, and he took the girl I was talking to. He took her into a back room, and he closed the door. So I'm just sitting with the 2 guys, we talking and joking, and we like already knew what was gonna happen when they went in the room. But one of my friends, or his guy friend, went and knocked on the door and went in. And so then Potato came out. And he looks at me and he's like, come here. And so I was like, no. Like, you're not gonna do that with me. Like, So he looks at me like, what? Like, what you talking about? Like, so he's like, man, come here. So I'm like, at this point, getting frustrated. I'm like, I'm not going in the room with you. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I was like, leave me alone. So he ends up, I don't know what happened first, but takes me to the balcony, and he closes the door. So his friend is still in the room with the girl, and then I'm out on the balcony with him. And he was like, man, what's your problem? And I'm like, nothing's my problem. He's like, what you been telling this girl? I was like, I didn't tell her anything. So he's just in his mind thinking we've been gossiping about him the whole time. Me and this girl we exchanged Instagrams. We talking about what we do and stuff, or talking about how old she was. And I did ask her how she met him, but that was it. So he's like, you always get in these little moods, so you want to go months without talking to me, but you know you're going to be back. And something in my head was like, okay, so he knows how it go. So you know to like try to get me back, or you know the little, the little phases I be going through. Like, okay, you got to figure it out, whatever. So I was like, that's how you know how to play me. That's how you know how to get me back. So he was like, but you're not gonna keep doing that. He was like, man, just go in the room with me. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. He was like, I want to have sex with you and her. And so at that point, I just was like, I'm gone. So I get my purse and I started texting. I was dating this guy at the time. That time that I went without talking to him, me and him had went to a few parties together. We've been texting. I'd known him from like childhood, so had a little crush on each other. We started talking. So I'm texting him because he's a little bit familiar with Potato and I situation. So I start texting him. I'm like, babe, where you at? I'm about to pull up on you. I'm just about to see you because this dude tripping. So Potato grabs my phone and he's like, who are you texting? And I was like, talking to my boyfriend. And he looks at me like, is this playing with me? And so I was just like, give me my phone. So as I try to leave, he blocks like the door by standing in front of me, telling me, you're not going anywhere. And I'm just like, get out the way, I'm finna go. So at this point I get in the hallway and I go on the elevator. So he follows me, and as soon as the elevator's about to close, he puts his hand in front of the door and he was like, this what you want to do? And I'm like, leave me alone, I'm just finna go. Like, why are you bothering me? You have a whole other girl in the room, just go. So he was like, you gonna regret if this the last time you see me. If you finna walk out this door, this what you finna do. I'm letting you know right now, this not the end of it. He was like, now take your purse and get back in that room. He was like, you're not leaving. So I walk out and I go sit on the couch. I don't even know why I did, but this is just how back and forth and dysfunctional we were. I go back in there and I'm thinking he's gonna go in the room with the girl. And he's still talking to me crazy. And he tells me to go back on the balcony. At this point, I knew this man was crazy and he would kill me if he could get away with it. He takes me on the balcony. He's like, you gonna stop playing with me? You gonna stop doing this? He was like, I don't know what your issue is. So when he starts talking like that, I'm like, all right, I'm gone. So he stands in front of the door and he got loud. He was like, I will break your, he was like, I'll break your neck. He was like, I will push you over this balcony. He was like, stop playing with me.
And
So I take out my phone. He was talking to me. And at some point he says, yeah, you could try to record me. You could try to get whatever little dirt you want on me. You take that to the cops, but I know this prison system. I know this justice system in and out. So whatever you try to do, I'm going to get away with it. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, I need to go. I need to leave because this man he got a little full of himself. The liquor's too much in his system. And at this point, I don't know what he's capable of. So at a point where he's talking to me, I'm still trying to leave. He ends up grabbing me by my neck and pushing me back. He's yelling, steady talking about how he's not gonna keep going through this with me. And he said to me, his final thing he said was, you could get away from me for now, but some months down the road, you gonna feel it. You gonna think that everything's cool, but you gonna know. He was like, I'm not saying I'm gonna do anything to you because that's only incriminating myself. He was like, but you'll know. And I was okay with what he said. I was okay with him threatening me because at this point, after a year and a half of going through everything, I was done. And I knew what needed to be done to make sure that it stays that way. So this happened in February of this year. We're in June. And I just, not saying I'm scared of him, but I know what crowds to hang around with. I know what things to say because I don't want to deal with him. He still is trying to get a hold of me. I want to say about a month ago, he called one of my friends and he was asking about me and he's plotting on getting with her to get back at me and make me upset. And it's just like, why do I have that much of a hold on you? Why do I have that much effect? Why do you care that much about what I'm going through? Like, he sleeps with all of these women and don't want to let none of them go. Because I've met plenty of other women that say he's talked to them like that. He's protective like that. He's popped up at their house. And it's just, it's so sad. But, yeah. So, one of the many stories with this dysfunctional man is probably the last one. Hopefully. But just know, if you notice any flags, male or female, whoever you're with, the first time you walk away should be the last time. Or if you can't get away, stay away. Because most older people like that you date, they want something to control. That is it. It's not that they're attracted to younger people. They want something to control. And he thought he could control me. But he was wrong. So, that's the end of this video. New video next week. Like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe.
Glory. AB on the track.